All right, rockers, as promised, on the line, I have Jesse Ventura. Jesse, thank you so much for taking time to talk with us.
Well, thank you, Morgan. I appreciate it. Nice of you to have me.
You know, I know there's so much that I have to talk with you about and so many questions. Sadly, so little time. Yourself, former independent governor of Minnesota, U.S. Navy SEAL, professional wrestler, those were the days. Movie actor, also love your work with True TV's Conspiracy Theory. You, Jesse, have been a busy man.
Well, I'm kind of Renaissance. I get bored with jobs after about 3 or 4 years, and I also haven't embraced the concept of reincarnation. So I don't want to get to be 75 or 80, which I'm actually 60 now, and have to say woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's a good way to put it.
I try everything, and I want to live a full life, and that's what I do.
As we all should. I truly love the fact that you've always stood up for what you believe in, along with what I've mentioned before. You now have a book out. I had to laugh because I also realized that you're writing your creative name for this book called Democrats and Republicans, No More Gangs in Government. Jesse, without giving away too much, tell us what we can expect from your book.
Well, I'll give away plenty. It's a book I'm demanding that we get rid of the party system. They're gangs. They're destroying our country. And if you read Chapter 2, I have some pretty good allies. And my allies are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and John Adams.
Sure. And
John Adams stated that the United States would, if it ever did fall, it would fall from internally. It would fall when political parties take over the government.
Right.
You know, they've created, Morgan, a system right now that is based completely upon bribery. Now, if we do bribery in the private sector, we go to jail. And yet they accept bribes, and our illustrious Supreme Court said that corporations have the rights as people and that money is free speech. They can now accept all the corporate money they want, and they don't even have to say who it came from. I have a solution for that. I think all presidential candidates should be required to wear NASCAR racing suits. Because if you look at Jimmy Johnson, you'll see everybody who sponsors him. That way we can know who owns the candidate, and we can be informed voters then.
Sure.
And we'll have a great idea of who this guy's going to work for.
Again, on the line, former independent governor Jesse Ventura, new book out called Democrats and Republicans, No More Gangs in Government. Jesse, you were in office, and I really miss that aspect about you because you got in there, you got stuff done, things that have not been done ever since. Now, you witnessed a lot of things from the inside, and the beauty of this is, in a roundabout way, you can bring out some of the antics, for lack of better words, from some of these knuckleheads in your book.
Yeah, well, it's terrible, but really what you have is pro wrestling. And let me explain. In front of the people and in front of the TV, they're adversaries. But behind the scenes, they're all working together, these two gangs.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it.
They're working together to solidify their power, put the stranglehold. I urge people, and Minnesota should listen. Because nobody gave me a chance. When they always say, well, if you vote for something other than a Democrat or Republican, they can't win. Well, Minnesota, we proved them wrong, didn't we, in 1998?
Right on.
We proved that you can win. And I urge people, right now there's a great libertarian candidate out there, former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson. He was governor of New Mexico when I was governor of Minnesota. He used to be a moderate Republican. He's quit them because he now knows how corrupt they are. And people should vote for Gary. Send a message like you did in 98 in Minnesota. It'll scare the crap out of these two gangs. If Gary Johnson were to even get 15 or 20% of the vote, let alone win.
Now you're getting me all fired up. Former independent governor Jesse Ventura, new book out called Democrats and Republicans, No More Gangs in Government. Last but not least, one of the guys here at the station wanted to ask, and this is kind of off the scale here, you were in a band that played the New Munich Ballroom, and this was before my time here at Rockin 101. Apparently this band you were in did a killer version of Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil. Any recollection of that?
Oh, yeah. We were called the Soldiers of Fortune. We actually sold out First Avenue in Minneapolis.
Oh, sweet.
We did our last gig. We called it the Manure Tour because it was summer in the Midwest, and when you go out to these small towns, you smell manure.
It's true.
So we named it the Manure Tour. No, I had some great musicians. I had a musician that played with Bob Dylan on Blood on the Tracks. I had a lead guitar player, Mark Orion, that was phenomenal. And we actually recorded Barry Maguire's Eve of Destruction, the original protest song, and it made it on a Hitmakers CD. I'm sandwiched between Paul McCartney and Motley Crue.
Oh, sweet. You're a rocker at heart.
I urge people today, you know who my new rock hero is now?
Oh, want to hear
Tom
it?
Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
Love you even more.
He's one of the best guitarists I've heard since Jimi Hendrix. And he, to me, is the new Woody Guthrie. He's the new Bob Dylan. I can't speak enough about Tom Morello. And did you know Rage Against the Machine, prior to the Iraq War and during it, were banned from being played on the radio in the United States?
Well, I can see why. A lot of uptight people around here, you know?
Oh, yeah. Think of that. Censorship. Well, you know why? Because it was the musicians that played a great role in stopping the Vietnam War.
Yep.
With Crosby, Stills, Nash's 4 Dead in Ohio about the Kent State murders. And so they smarten up, and they know that music speaks to the people, so if they censor music, the people won't rise up. And that's what they did to Tom Morello and Rage Against the Machine on the Iraq War.
God, I could talk to you about this all day. Sadly, we can't. Again, folks, Jesse Ventura can be found online at weaintgottimetobleed.com. Jesse, quickly, for those who want to pick up your book, I'm assuming they can head to Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, perhaps?
Yeah, and they can get it on Kindle and all that stuff, I think. It'll be out there everywhere. And, I urge people, let me state this. If you read this book and you still vote for a Democrat or Republican, then you are the problem, not the solution, and don't ever bitch again.
Right on. You have some book signing dates that I'll make sure to notify everyone about shortly here. Jesse, thank you again so much for your time. You're a busy man. Looking forward to hearing from you again in the near future.
Thank you, Morgan, and keep up the great work. You let me on, and